In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and replace a CV inner axle seal on the passenger side of a Nissan Rogue, located on the transmission. Remove the hubcap. You can either use a pry bar or just put your 2 fingers, hands in here like this and give it a pull. Set it aside. Now with a 21mm socket, you're going to remove the tire. So what we're going to do, we're going to undo the flex hose with this clip and then pull the ABS sensor wires out from the brackets. Now there's many ways to do these little spring clips. You can use like a pry bar, a screwdriver. I usually attempt the screwdriver first, and if they're pretty rusted, I'll just get like a pair of pliers or cutters. I'm not cutting that because you have to reuse it, but it just gets a grip on it so you can spin it out like that. Just rock it back and forth. And then once that spot opens up a little bit, you can get a screwdriver in there, flathead. See if you can pry it out the rest of the way. Just like that. Now the flex hose is free to come out. Let's get that out of the way. And we could take the ABS bushings out of the way. Now we're going to be removing the 2 lower mounting bolts, one here and one here. They're both 21mm head of the bolt, 21 on the head, and the nut. That's a socket and a wrench. So 21mm socket and 21mm wrench. Let's go ahead and back this off. Here's the top bolt. Set it aside. You're going to reuse it. And let's do the same to the bottom. 21 again on both sides. And the knuckle's going to fall right out of that strut. So we're going to take the axle cotter pin out. Just get a pair of cutters, and you can either cut it right there and then just slide it out. We're going to take that castle cover off and just work it back and forth. We're going to reuse that, so make sure you keep it, set it aside. And now a 32mm, and we're going to take the axle nut off. Pop it out, just like that. Now I'm going to get a cord, something to hold this up a little bit, because I don't want the strain on the flex hose. Using a bungee cord, I'm just going to wrap it right around this. It's still going to give some give, because we're going to need it in order to get the axle out. But try to take some of the strain off of the flex hose. So now with a long extension, I'm going to get a 13mm socket on these 2 retaining bolts right here and take them out. There's the top one, and just one more on the bottom there. Okay. Take that right out of the way. So make sure you put a drain pan to catch any fluid that's going to come out when you pull this CV axle out. Put your pry bar in here and pry that CV shaft out of that carrier bearing. All right, now we can just keep guiding that axle right out. So with a pry bar or a flathead screwdriver, a seal pull is kind of hard to get in there, but you want to just pop the seal right out. Give it a little pop. Get that out of the way. All right, so now I'm going to clean the area the best I can with a clean rag. Just make sure there's no grease going in there. It's still going to continue to leak like that. So now I grab the old seal so that I can match something to make sure that it goes over that extended seal that sticks out, and I'm pushing in on the flat part here because I want to push it, line it up and push it evenly to get this seal to go into that transmission. This happens to be a ball joint tool. It goes part of the cups for the ball joint press. So I've got that ball joint extender on there, and I'm going to use my pry bar. I'm going to try to push this seal in evenly. Make sure I get it lined up right. Give it a push. All right, so I use that ball joint cup to at least start it, but now I'm going to use my brass punch and a hammer so that I can kind of slowly tap it all the way around and give it a good insert slowly, back and forth. Check it out, see how it's going. That's the one thing about seals, especially when you can't get to them. It's just got to be patient. Without patience, you can damage it. It's going in pretty good. And the reason you use brass, and make sure your end is cleaned up. That's what a brass punch is for. You can take it to the grinding wheel and clean it up. Make sure there's no burrs on it, because it can rip the seals when you use it like this. And they will get like knurled over time. Well, just a little bit more all the way around and we should be good to go. All right, so now it looks pretty good. I'm just going to take a rag and clean this area. Make sure there's no damage. I didn't chip anything. Looks good. Always run your finger along and make sure the seal doesn't stick up and it's flush with the aluminum or the housing that you're putting the seal in. Before I install the axle, I'm going to clean this carrier bearing bracket. I want to get as much of the dirt and rust out as I can. I just have a little bit of sandpaper, and then I'll use some parts cleaner or brake cleaner, and I'm going to get all the rust out. And if you spray, make sure you don't get it into the transmission in the hole. You just want to make sure that the carrier bearing goes into place just right. There we go. Now I'll take a rag and wipe that out. I'm just going to spray. You can use a brushed style, but I'm going to spray a little never seize in there, anti-seize, so that way maybe the next time it's not so difficult pulling that out. So now we're going to install the CV shaft. I'm going to guide it right through that carrier bearing housing. You could take this fender liner out if it helps you. I don't. Now what I want to do is pay attention to that seal because we don't want to damage it. So I'm going to get so far, and then I'm going to go from below and guide it in. Okay, it's cleared. There we go. You'll feel the knurls start in the gear, and now you're good to go. And just give it a good couple of pushes. So now we'll take the axle and guide it into that bearing, that front end bearing. Let's get the knurls to line up like that. I'm gonna undo my bungee cord. And make sure that ABS sensor is on the front of the strut. You want to make sure that's cleared. Give it a wiggle. There we go. Line it up on the strut just a little bit. Now I could put the axle nut on. I'm going to bring that all the way down by hand, just enough to snug it. And now we can put the strut bolts back in. So grab a hold of the whole assembly here and lift it up, and then put one of the bolts through. Doesn't matter if it's top or bottom. Now you can let go, relax a little. Let's put the other bolt through. And this is where you're going to have to push that assembly in. Nuts on. Now, if you notice, like I said, make sure this ABS sensor is in the front and not behind the strut. You want to put it right in here because it falls into those brackets. So now we can put our plate in that holds that carrier bearing in place. I'm going to put one bolt in the top, start it by hand, and do the same to the bottom. All right, 13mm socket, and we'll snug that up. So we're just going to bottom them out, and then we'll torque it. So the torque spec is 14 foot-pounds. All right, so now we're going to tighten our strut to knuckle, so 21mm wrench and socket, and always push in so that you can get as much play out of it as possible, that it's bottomed out. The top one. Now we'll get our torque wrench and torque that. So the torque specs for the strut bolt to knuckle is 104 foot-pounds. So now we can put our ABS wire back, and we have the brackets that line right up with the little bushings that are on the line. And just clip them right in, just like that. And then our hydraulic brake hose. So actually that goes in this way, and poke that through. And then little butterfly clamp, that's what I call these, horseshoe clamps. Start it by hand, and then we'll just take a little hammer and give it a tap. Now with a 32mm socket, we're going to snug up the axle nut. Just snug it because we're going to torque that to factory specs. So the spindle nut is 136 foot-pounds. So I like to put a wrench in here, and it will break it right on that caliper bracket. And I put my socket and torque wrench, 136 foot-pounds. Now I know I said we'd reuse this. I didn't realize I got a new one. Isn't that nice? So put that in the bucket of used stuff. I might need it in the future. But I'm going to put my new Castle washer on. New cotter pin, always. Now some people like to do it this way with that lock pin, cotter pin, and some people like to go the other way. So whatever makes you happy, as long as it's a new cotter pin for one. Two, it's going to hold it. So I'm going to go this way because it likes to seat itself right in that crown of that castle nut. I'll bring that over. Then I'm going to just clip this and hammer this part in. And the reason I clip it is because if it's too long, someone can catch their hand on it. And I'll just take a hammer, give it a tap. There we go. So now we can put our lug nuts on. Always start them by hand. And that's a 21mm socket, and we'll just snug them up and then torque them to factory spec. Just bottom them out, crisscross pattern. So now the torque spec for this Nissan Rogue is 80 foot-pounds for the lug nuts, 21mm socket, and we're going to go in a star pattern. Always double check. So now we can put our hubcap back on. Make sure you see the notch that's cut out for the valve stem or the TPMS sensor in this case. I like to put it on, take a rubber mallet. Good to go. So now that we've done with our repairs, we're going to check the transmission fluid after that axle came out because we lost some fluid. So with a little pick or a screwdriver, you're going to push in on a little plastic ear that's right here and pull out on the transmission dipstick. Now you can always check. Sometimes they'll say what kind of fluid it takes. This particular one does not, so you can check the manual. I know that it takes CVT, so you have to put CVT training fluid in it. Do not add anything else because you can destroy your transmission. Right off the bat, I'm going to add about a half a quart, and then I'm going to run it and check the fluid. Now, the manufacturer specs is run it to temperature, run it through the gears, and then put it back in park and pull the dipstick. Wipe it, reinstall it, and check your fluid level. After finishing this installation, it's important to have an alignment done on your vehicle. When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.